the tornadoes are coming, right? Tornado ravaged Kentucky, Missouri, Virginia. 28 people across these states were killed. Global warming is increasing the heat in the atmosphere, which is energy, which makes weather systems more energetic, which makes storms more violent. And the warmer the air is, the more moisture it can hold. And the more moisture it holds, the more of these rivers of water that you get that produce massive flooding. And, we had mile-wide tornadoes over the weekend in Kentucky. I mentioned earlier, I grew up in Michigan. We had tornadoes every single summer. I mean, it was just, it was part of life. But mile-wide tornadoes? Nah. They would take out a house here and there from time to time. They would, knock down trees and things. But so anyhow, this is going on. Global warming is driving more and more severe weather. And what's the Trump administration's response? They're cutting back on the National Weather Service. In fact, the Weather Service office in Kentucky that warned people typically is not staffed overnight. Now, they did, some of the people working there did show up in the middle of the night on Sunday night so that they could, warn people that this was coming, and God bless them. But the office was officially closed. They were under no obligation to do that. This is just people doing what they felt was the right thing. The St. Louis Missouri Mayor Kara Spencer on MSNBC said, what we need right now is federal assistance. This was apparently the worst tornado hit in the history of St. Louis. And Mayor Spencer says, our city cannot shoulder this alone. The state of Missouri cannot shoulder this alone. This is the whole point of having a government, is to do the things that we can't do individually. When David Koch was running for vice president back in 1980, he made the point that government should just get out of this business of educating people and building roads and doing, and taking care of people during disasters. He wanted FEMA ended. He wanted the EPA ended. He wanted the public schools ended. All these things, the stuff that is Project 2025, basically. And, his argument was, well, rich people can take care of themselves, and they'll, with a little charity, they'll take care of the people around them. And, if we go back to, when millions of Americans are living in poverty, that wasn't so terrible for our grandparents' generation, was it? They survived it. I mean, this is his pitch, essentially. And so, they've gutted FEMA. And again, the mayor of St. Louis, FEMA has not been on the ground, and we have not confirmed assistance from FEMA at this point. And Kristi Noem, the Homeland Security Director, in a social media post about the hurricanes in the Midwest, made no mention of FEMA. Instead said, the government will take a backseat to local efforts. She says, we discussed how while the emergency management is best led by local authorities, let's just dump all those bills on them, because here at the federal level, we've got to gut as much of this government as we can so that we can pay for the tax cuts for our billionaires who put Republicans in office. I mean, it's a nice little scheme, right? Billionaires, spiff Clarence Thomas and Sam Alito. Clarence Thomas and Sam Alito vote for Citizens United so that billionaires can buy politicians. Billionaires then start buying politicians, and the politicians figure out ways to kick back deregulation and tax breaks to those billionaires. And who's left out in the cold? Who's screwed as a result of this? All of us. You and me. I mean, the rest of us. And that's where we're at now in the United States. Is the gutting of our government to pay for tax cuts for billionaires. And why there isn't like a more widespread revolt against it? Well, I know why. Because Fox News is here. We've got billionaire-owned right-wing media, 3 different billionaire-owned right-wing television networks, billionaire-owned radio stations, billionaire-supported podcasts, Russia-supported podcasts, all of them saying what Trump does is wonderful.